Good morning, good afternoon and good evening, folks. I've got something here today. Let's see if wireless charging is actually any good. Let's go. So that was a new style of intro for me. I don't usually do things like that, but it might become the future of the review/demos on here. But yes, today's experiment is wireless charging. Is it any good? So recently I did a video on this little doohickey, this wireless charging pad that you can add to your phone, and I was trying to see whether or not it would actually work. Well, now I've got the other half. So, let's zoom out a little bit. I bought this from Amazon. It was literally one of their cheapest wireless charging pads. I only got it because I wanted to check it out and I want to see if it would actually work. See, I've seen wireless charging on the market, for quite a while now. Although it seems to get the reputation that it actually is not that good and it charges pretty slowly. But I decided I would check it out for definite myself, just to see how it works on my phone, because if it does, that's going to be better than just, plugging a cable in and probably getting it wrong one of these days. Plus, I'm pretty sure the port on this thing is becoming intermittent now. So let's get this thing apart and try and fit it. But first, I'll just show you the actual unboxing of the item. Now, I did already look into this package just to see if everything was in there, but it hasn't really been tested at all, apart from just looking at a few things. This is mostly for the purposes of showing what's in the box. So there's not an awful lot, but what is there is pretty good. Let's get rid of that. So you get this interesting sort of label. It's got happy on one side, not happy on the other. And then it's got like a QR code or something. That's not really that important. You get instructions. Although, to be honest, it's another one of those things where basically I think the only instructions should be take out, use, be happy, because you don't need that. And then we come to the star of the show. And what I like is they've actually provided you with a USB cable. I would have expected that, but sometimes, such as this, they don't, which is a little bit annoying. I don't know why you wouldn't provide a USB cable with this. And then there's the unit itself and a plastic tray. So that concludes that unboxing. So now what do? Basically, all of this stuff married together should result in wireless charging. There'll actually be an easy way to tell before we even get going with this modification if it works or not. And that is my Nexus 7. This has wireless charging built into it, so this should be a pretty quick test of whether or not this actually works. So, one moment, I'll just connect everything up. So I just put it on the table there, connecting it via a cable I had handy, which the cable I used to charge my other stuff with. There is a light on this side, but it doesn't come on until you place something on it, so let's just wake up the Nexus 7 and bump the camera. Okay, so it's registered the fact it charges. So yeah, that means it works, which is good. I don't have to send this thing back. This appears to work very nicely. With the Daydream mode, it also registers the fact that it's charging via whatever method. It doesn't seem to matter, actually. Usually this turns into a clock. Hang on, it should engage in just a few seconds. And there we go. It doesn't seem to matter whether I connect via cable or whether wirelessly, it still seems to trigger the Daydream successfully. That's great. Now just get rid of this. So basically what I've got round here is I've already pre-disassembled the phone. Now I did a test fit using my standard, it's like a rubber back cover for the Moto G. It's meant to absorb impacts. It's definitely helped a lot when I've dropped it on tables and on bus stop floors and things like that. But it doesn't really work too well with the Moto G itself. It seems to feel all a bit kind of spongy and it doesn't really clip onto the sides properly anymore. So the object of this is a little bit defeated. So I'm going to have to, for the purposes of this experiment, as I established in the last video, use the pre-existing hard plastic back that has snap-ins as the method by which we're going to put the back on. But I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. Also, what I had to do is I had to, you probably see it there, I had to put a kink in the end. Shouldn't cause a problem, but this thing would have covered over the flash of the other thing. And as it happens, putting that level of kink in it, pardon the expression, does actually get around the problem of that very well and puts it just underneath here. So I think we should fit this together. Okay, so if I remember rightly, I'm trying to do this through the camera viewfinder. I should probably not do that. Hold on a second. I could do this off camera, but I just want to try and do it on camera to make sure I look like I know what I'm doing. Okay, so that goes in there. And as you can see, it fits kind of nicely under there. So we're just going to put the back on. And this does fit perfectly. Is that it? Yeah. It feels really nice and solid on the phone there. And then there's no problems, apart from the slight bulge about there, where some of the circuit components are, but it doesn't really cause a problem, and it's very neat on the bottom. So I think we should test this now. Okay, so we got this back in the frame. Okay. Oh, the lights come on. And it's charging. Yeah, so I'm really pleased on how this has all turned out. I think as an experiment, what I'm going to try and do, let's have a look at the percentage. Oh, we're literally at 50% at 11 o'clock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on for literally an hour, and we're going to come back and see how much it's advanced since then. So 50% at 11 o'clock, let's come back at midnight. Okay, so it's midnight. Let's check this thing out. 12 o'clock. Hour on from where we're supposed to be, and what do we have? 74%. Not bad, I suppose. I think what I might want to do is conduct some additional experiments to see what it's like on a cable. But I suppose that's not bad for an hour. 25%. Or 24 in this case. Not bad. So I'm pretty sure then that this is kind of a success. The phone is pretty hot though, and I'm feeling this thing, and it is, well, I say hot, it's very warm. I mean, it's pleasantly warm. If your hands were cold, this would be quite good. I don't think it's going to be a problem, but yeah, wireless charging does appear to work. Come on, where are we? Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's another thing as well. This phone has to pretty much be placed directly in the center. And when I say in the center, I don't mean, you know, in the middle sort of, or, you know, you can do that. You can't. I mean, it sort of works occasionally, but the best result I've found is it doesn't necessarily work when it's off to the center that way. You can see it just stopped. You have to literally be in the center of it. Look, there we go. I just kicked into charging again. For that to work properly. Which is okay. But you're not always going to remember that, and if it does get knocked in the middle of the night, you're not charging your phone. But yes, all in all, wireless charging, it works. Not sure if I'll use it full time, but as an experiment, I call this one a success. And anyway, that's pretty much the end of the video. So comment if you have any questions about it, if you've got any suggestions for any more wireless charging experiments, or you know, any other kind of thing like this, let me know. And I shall see you in the next video. Or rather, you'll see me, whichever you want to do. Bye.